welcome and many thanks for joining us on Newsline. I am Jennifer Igwe. In line with our tradition, our reporters have turned in fascinating stories, and I must start by saying Happy Palm Sunday to our Christian brothers and sisters. Now, Palm Sunday is, in the Christendom, marks the beginning of a crucial aspect of Christianity. It is also used to commemorate a special honor given to Jesus Christ during his triumphant entry into Jerusalem. What is the significance of these, and how can our lives be affected by the celebration of Palm Sunday? Stay tuned to find out. And for Muslim brothers and sisters, the holy month of Ramadan is a period to deepen their devotion to Allah and show brotherly love to everyone, particularly the less privileged. Find out what happened at the lepers colony in line with this. Then, wait to learn more about the youngest lawmaker-elect in Osun State. He is just 27 years old. Yes, you heard right, 27. One of the beneficiaries of the not too young to run law signed by President Muhammadu Buhari. His story is quite interesting and a must watch. A not so interesting one on our lineup is an update on the woman who set her son, his wife, and their children ablaze. Find out the new development. Plus, we have the send forth of veterans in the broadcast industry. Are you wondering who they are? Just stay tuned to find out. Time to join Claire Adelabu Abdurazak in Abuja for the news. Claire, let's have the news.
Good evening, Jennifer. You know, if you had said anything to me yesterday, I wouldn't have believed you. You know what they say about April Fool's Day. Did you get fooled? Fooled?
Prepared.
I'm sure Jennifer will give us the answer when we get back to her. Welcome to the Abuja Network Studios and to the news. And we'll begin with welfare of workers. The head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Folashade Yemi-Esan, says the federal government will continue to do its best to ensure that the welfare of workers is given the desired attention. Now, this is contained in her message to the 2022 separate and joint meetings of the National Public Service Negotiating Council. Here is Saman Jabani with the rest of the report.
The Federal Public Civil Service Entrepreneurship Program, the Federal Civil Service Bus Scheme, and the Awards and Recognition Scheme are some of the welfare initiatives introduced by the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation towards improving staff welfare, with the theme fostering partnership between government and trade unions for effective governance. The head of the Civil Service of the Federation, who was represented, emphasized the need for synergy between labor unions and government as a prerequisite to industrial peace in working environment, which will promote efficiency and effectiveness in the delivery of service.
Our commitment in this regard will enhance and sustain strong and collaborative industrial relations. It is through the lens of effective communication that everybody wins. We should continue to dialogue on issues that are concerned with the welfare of workers with a view to striking a balance on best options available.
Folashade Yemi-Esan said the federal government has shown commitment and support by approving the Federal Civil Service Strategic and Implementation Plan 2021 to 2025, intended to redefine and reposition the public service in creating a conducive working environment in the 21st century. Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule, who was represented by Acting Head of Civil Service of the state, Abigail Waya, commended the Head of Civil Service of the Federation for a transformative agenda for the civil service. She expressed satisfaction with the reform programs of the federal government, adding that Nigerian workers deserve the best. President of the Joint National Public Service Negotiating Council, Trade Union side, Benjamin Anthony, urged the federal government to look into the various bank charges on transfer and other transactions. Hamman Jabani, NTA News.
And the attention of the Presidential Transition Council, PTC, has been drawn to a fake Twitter handle at Transition NGR created by unscrupulous persons since April 2020, even before the establishment and inauguration of the council. Director Information in the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Willie Bassi, in a press release, states that the Presidential Transition Council has nothing to do with the fake Twitter handle, as approval for the establishment of the Presidential Transition Council was given by the President in February this year, and Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, subsequently inaugurated the council. The statement notes that the fake Twitter handle reveals an irresponsible and calculated attempt by unscrupulous persons to disseminate inaccurate and tainted information to unsuspecting members of the public. Now, for the avoidance of doubt, the authentic Twitter account of the Presidential Transition Council is at FGNPTC, Federal Government of Nigeria Presidential Transition Council. And the public is urged to discountenance the fake Twitter account and use the official account handle of the PTC for genuine and accurate information on the activities of the transition program, which is on course as all committee members are working assiduously for the success of the inauguration on the 29th of May 2023. Enduring peace, economic prosperity and sustainable development will be the focal point of the incoming administration in Kano State. Now, the state governor-elect, Abba Kabir Yusuf, disclosed this during the inauguration of Governorship Transition Committee to prepare ground for May 29 takeover. Here is Abdullahi Mustafa with the rest of the report.
This is the first public engagement of the Kano State Governor-elect, Abba Kabir Yusuf, since his declaration as winner of the governorship election. The inauguration of the 65-member Gubernatorial Transition Committee is the first step towards smooth transfer of power from the departing to the incoming administration in the state. Led by the former Executive Secretary, Tertiary Education Trust Fund, Dr. Abdullahi Bofavici, the committee is made up of seasoned administrators, technocrats, academics, and party stakeholders. The governor-elect, who tasked members on selfless service, promised to run a progressive government that will be responsive to the yearnings of Kano people.
We are transiting to meritocracy and target-driven and purposeful governance. We are going to use this work with diligence like we requested, with professionalism like we requested, and with patriotism like we directed.
Update on gubernatorial, state government and executive branch records, key assignments given to the Transition Committee. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
And the All Progressives Congress, APC, in Rivers State has confirmed the release of its documents that were earlier seized by the police command over the weekend. Now, governorship candidate of the party, Tonya Cole, who confirmed the release, notes it will aid their preparation for the election tribunal in Rivers State. Here is Joy Uzo with the report.
The governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC, in Rivers State, Pastor Tonya Cole, who made the disclosure during an interview with newsmen at the State Criminal Investigation Department, Rivers State, noted that the documents were released to them after 36 hours of their seizure by the police. He revealed that they have been on alert to ensure the safety of the documents while the police carried out their investigations. This is because they are part of sensitive materials that the APC in Rivers State will be presenting as evidence at the election tribunal.
Yesterday, we got all the lawyers released. Lawyers were released on self-recognition. The assistant staff, ad hoc staff that were working with them, support staff, were released on bail, and the party chairman stood in for them to take them out. What we had to make sure was necessary to be released where all the evidence are from EC8, EC8A, EC8B, and most people know, if you don't know what that is, these are the agent's copy of the evidence that we had an election.
Pastor Tonya Cole was accompanied by the party chairman Emenike Beke and other senior party officials in the state. The police had, in a statement through its public relations officer in Rivers State, SP Grace Imringe Koko, confirmed that the arrests were made based on a tip-off that some persons were printing documents that looked like INEC documents, prompting the arrest. In Port Harcourt, Joy Uzo, NTA News.
All right, we're still on political matters now. The national chairman of the new Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, Professor Ahmed Rufai Alkali, has resigned from office. Professor Alkali, who was elected a year ago to lead the affairs of the party, says he is stepping down to give room for proper reorganizing and restructuring to make the NNPP a leading political party in Nigeria. In a letter addressed to the National Secretary of the party, Professor Alkali thanked the NEC and NNPP in general and adds that he wants reorganization to start from his office, hence the decision to step aside for fresh hands to get involved. Expressing confidence in the leadership of Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, Professor Alkali hopes that the party will take over the affairs of the country in 2027, representing the interests and aspirations of all Nigerians. The Plantation Industries Limited, PIL, Akure in Ondo State, says it will continue to evolve means of building the capacity of various sectors, even beyond the manufacturing of products for national development. Now, this was made known when the management of the industry received students of the Nigerian Army College of Statistics and Management on a study visit. Abiola Ariyo reports.
Plantation Industry Limited is a cocoa processing factory that processes cocoa beans into a wide range of products like cocoa butter, cocoa powder, cocoa liquor, cocoa cake, and more. The Plantation Industries Limited was identified by the Nigerian Army College of Logistics and Management as a successful company in Nigeria, whose activities could afford students opportunity of appreciating some logistics and management principles, which the students were taught in the college. Hence the reason for the visit.
One of the aspects of logistics is the provision of food, and beverage is part of the food, you know. And so based on that, we have come here to see what are the logistics network and the supply chain involved in getting such food. And in that respect, we want to believe that if the student knows exactly what it takes to produce, if he knows what it takes to transport, he'll be able to plan how to ensure that there is always supply of this material.
There was an interactive session where the Deputy Managing Director of the company, Taiwa Yoade, exposed the officers to the mode of operation of the plantation industry. The Deputy Managing Director described the visit as a recognition of the activities, which is not only known for cocoa processing, but also its corporate social responsibility.
We provide mentorship and training for FUTA students, but not only FUTA students. Regularly we receive students, we receive students, organizations. As you know, logistics is very important in success of any NDR4. So, and logistics is also key to the success of Nigerian Army operation.
The team was taken on a facility tour and exposed to the supply management, procurement process, inventory, warehousing of finished goods, and transportation process. In Akure, Abiola Ariyo, NTA News.
And Nigeria has again called on the United Nations and the international tax community to forge an inclusive, equitable, fair, and universally beneficial international tax system towards the attainment of the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. The Executive Chairman, Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, Mohammed Nami, stated this while delivering Nigeria's statement at the Economic and Social Council ECOSOC special meeting on international cooperation in tax matters held at the ECOSOC chamber in United Nations headquarters in New York. Mr. Nami notes that the Nigerian delegation is concerned about the global minimum tax as put forward by the OECD inclusive framework because of its low rate and the way it was negotiated to benefit the home countries of multinationals. He further commends African countries for strengthening their participation in international tax cooperation efforts, as well as the strides they have made in closing loopholes and countering base erosion and profit shifting. He, however, expressed concerns that while much good work has been done, much more remains to be done towards a fully inclusive process, both domestically and internationally, and ensuring that all taxpayers are making their fair contributions. The United Nations Economic and Social Council, UN ECOSOC, special meeting on international cooperation in tax matters is an annual meeting of ECOSOC members, senior representatives of national tax authorities, relevant international organizations, civil society, and academia that discusses issues of taxation as it affects the globe. And Muslims have been advised to nurture and train their children in the ways of Allah in order to build a peaceful and prosperous society. Now, this was brought to the fore at the 12th Ramadan lecture of the Nigerian Television Authority, NDLEA, Ilorin, with the theme, Making the Best of Ramadan and the Role of Muslim Women Towards Building an Islamic Home. Kehinde Omolosho completes the report.
لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم بدأت بسم الله في مدي محمد.
Quran recitation and songs of praises in honor of Prophet Muhammad set the tone of the Ramadan lecture, which attracted various Islamic organizations and people from all walks of life. Imam Ibrahim Musa Budofu, in his lecture, Making the Best of Ramadan, charged Muslims to be determined to come out of Ramadan with positive change in their lifestyles.
To use Ramadan in a social aspect by doing good to the people, starting from the parents and the poor.
The role of women towards building an Islamic home was also explained by Ajia Khadija Abdul Salam.
The parents to be a good foundation to their kids. Whatever you want them to do, you should be the first on the list to start doing it.
The senior advocate of Nigeria, Yusuf Olaoluali, applauded NTA Ilorin management for coming up with programs that promote harmonious society.
All the lessons of Ramadan should not end in Ramadan with us.
One of the best lessons I learned from it is how to take care of our children when they are at their youthful age.
General Manager NTA Ilorin noted that the Ramadan lecture is part of the station's corporate social responsibility, adding that NTA is committed to promoting peace and harmony through broadcasting.
Theme for this lecture, Making the Best of Ramadan and Role of Women Towards Building an Islamic Home, was carefully selected for the benefit of all.
The Ramadan lecture is the 12th in the series. Kehinde Omolosho, NTA News.
All right, let's take a short break now. You're watching the news on Newsline tonight. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, and you're watching the news on Newsline tonight. And Muslims have been enjoined to increase in their acts of charity and to sustain good deeds of worship to Allah to gain His mercies in the holy month of Ramadan. Now, this was emphasized by Islamic scholars during the 10th edition of this year's program, Sahur Live on NTA. Hakima Taliu reports.
Advising Muslims to be steadfast in their deen in order to maximize the enormous bounties in the holy month of Ramadan, as well as issues of the Islamic faith, were the focus of scholars on the Sahur Live program on the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA.
Sabru here can also mean to persevere in a situation where things does not go well the way you want it, but because you could have some other things to do, perhaps to get those things done, but you allow Almighty Allah's decision to prevail.
With the first 10 days of the Ramadan fast completed, the scholars admonished Muslims to ensure they do not miss out on the mercy and blessing of Allah entering into the second part.
Point of reference in the area of Ramadan which we are in now. One should try as much as possible to present righteous deeds that will make him to be counted among those who are forgiven. Among the things also that Rasulullah should engage in the month of Ramadan is reading of the Quran. Because Jibril used to come to him in the night so that they will revise the Quran together. Again, among the things that one should encourage himself to do in Ramadan is to be more generous.
The program Sahur Live, which airs on the network service of the NTA, starting 4 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. daily in the Ramadan season, avails all knowledge of Islam and spiritual opportunities for the fasting Muslim. In Abuja, Hakimat Aliu, NTA News.
And today is Palm Sunday. It's the day that signifies the triumphant entry of Jesus Christ into Jerusalem, marking the beginning of the Passion Week. And Christians in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, this Sunday, joined their counterparts worldwide to mark the day. Kendi Omolosho reports that Kwara State Deputy Governor Kayode Alabi was part of the procession organized to commemorate the day.
Christians from various denominations converged on the St. Barnabas Cathedral premises where the procession took off. From Muritala, through Maraba, Amilegbe, Opomalu, Taiwo Road, Unity, and terminating at the St. Barnabas Cathedral, various choir bands sang soul-lifting songs. Anglican Bishop and Chairman Christian Association of Nigeria, Bishop Sunday Adewale, admonished Christians to clean their hearts and be committed to God.
His riding on donkey symbolizes peace and humility. As Christians, we need to be humble to love our neighbors as well.
Kwara State Deputy Governor Kayode Alabi advised believers to be humble and live together in peace and harmony. He submitted that development could only be achieved where there is peace.
Today, Jesus Christ rode into Jerusalem and he asked his disciples to go and get untied 2 donkeys on which he rode on. The significance of that is that peaceful coexistence.
Some Christians spoke on the essence of Palm Sunday.
This country should seek justice, maintain justice, to also make sure that they serve their neighbor, they take care of the young people, they take care of the aged people. As we do that, it will be a good country for us to live in.
Palm Sunday is the beginning of the Passion Week, when Jesus was persecuted and crucified on the cross, leading to Easter celebration. Kendi Omolosho, NTA.
All right, let's take you now to Zamfara State, where the police command has confirmed abduction of 2 female students of the Federal University Gusau by suspected terrorists. The statement issued by the spokesman of the command, Mohammed Shehu, says the armed terrorists broke into a rented female hostel located near the university campus, where they locked up 2 civilian guards on duty, dispossessed them of their handsets, and later abducted the 2 female students, both of microbiology department of the institution. According to the statement, on receipt of the report, the police tactical team moved to the scene, but the hoodlums had already, unfortunately, fled with the victims to an unknown destination. The statement further says that Zamfara State Commissioner of Police, Yusuf Kolo, has deployed reinforcement to complement the ongoing operation to safely rescue the abducted students and arrest the perpetrators of the heinous crimes. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, the NDLEA, has declared a Port Harcourt, River State-based popular prophetess and founder of Christ Power Adoration Ministries, Faith Ugochi, and a celebrity couple, Iho Ubiribo and Danielle Simba Allen, wanted for recruiting teenage girls into drug trafficking. The suspects, believed to be an international drug syndicate operating from Los Angeles, USA, are alleged to own a warehouse in Lekki area of Lagos State, where those illicit substances are kept and operating. Their cover was blown after NDLEA intercepted 32.70 kilograms of loud, a strong variant of cannabis concealed in cartons of used wares on Wednesday, the 16th of November 2022, at the Lagos International Airport. Meanwhile, operations conducted in the past week led to the seizure of more than 143 million pills of opioids and 2 tons of cannabis sativa in Akbakba Seaport, Lagos State, the FCT, and 5 other states, with suspects now in custody of the Anti-Narcotics Agency. Nigeria's commitment to overcoming various forms of fiscal crimes is gradually receiving a boost as the Chartered Institute of Forensics and Certified Fraud Investigators is leveraging the support of anti-graft agencies to stem the tide. Here is Abubakar Kwanga with the report.
Integrity, objectivity, due professional care.
Now, these forensics and certified fraud investigators are fully empowered with requisite knowledge to uncover illicit financial inflow and save resources.
The knowledge they have acquired under this training is the baseline knowledge. Forensics evolves on a daily basis, so they should also be up to date with innovations and trends that happens in the field of forensics. This is very, very important. And of course, above all, discharge their duties with integrity.
Creating a group of professionals, an army of professionals, will enhance our battle towards fighting criminality in all sectors, finance sectors and other sectors of our economy.
The institute, in collaboration with anti-graft agencies like the EFCC and ICPC, intends to establish 5 world-class forensic laboratories across the country to fight corruption and other illicit financial transactions. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
And in his continuous bid to secure Osun state assets and stabilize the state economy, Governor Ademola Adeleke has stopped the forfeiture of Osun mining licenses due to alleged mismanagement by previous administrations. A statement by the spokesperson to the governor states that after the submission of the report of the Solid Minerals Committee, Governor Adeleke also ramped up actions to reposition the sector and ensure the revalidation of the state mining licenses. At a meeting with the Director General of the Nigeria Mining Cadastral Agency, Engineer Badaya Ankom, Governor Adeleke affirmed the readiness of his administration to ensure all necessary fees are paid so that the state's mining licenses can be secured. And a bit of sports now. President Muhammadu Buhari celebrates the victory of Nigerian-born boxer Anthony Joshua over Jermaine Franklin, commending the triumph of the gifted pugilist over a formidable opponent, extolling the mentality of Joshua, whom he says did not allow personal setbacks and obstacles to dent his resilient spirit. The president says the former 3-time world heavyweight champion has demonstrated that hard work, patience, dedication, persistence, and humility, those who dare do win. President Buhari hails Joshua for his courage and discipline on and off the ring and prays that this success will be a stepping stone to one of the greatest comebacks in boxing history. The president believes that the accomplishments of Joshua on world stage will continue to inspire many upcoming professionals, particularly sportsmen and women, not to be discouraged by temporary defeats and setbacks, and wishes Joshua a bright future and fulfilling career. And to other sports stories now, English Premier League club Chelsea have sacked Graham Potter as their head coach. Potter was appointed on September the 8th on a 5-year deal, but has left the club just 7 months into the contract after winning 7 of his 22 Premier League games in charge. For these and other stories, let's join our correspondent, Badi NDLEA, on Sports Update.
Shooting Stars recorded their first away win of the season on Sunday after edging out home team Kwara United in a matchday 12 Group A encounter of the Nigeria Premier Football League, which was live on NTA. Table toppers Bendel Insurance came from behind to force a 1-0 draw away to Plateau United, with Akwa United beating Ayimba 1-0. In Group B, Bayelsa United claimed the biggest win yet in the league this season with a 5-1 whitewash of Abia Warriors. Doma United beat Niger Tornadoes 2-1, with Enugu Rangers and Lobby Stars settling for a 1-0 draw. On the continent, Rivers United lost 1-0 away to ASEC Mimosa in their final group match of the CAF Confederation Cup. The result means the Nigerian champions will finish second in Group B. Elsewhere, Newcastle United leapfrogged Manchester United into third place in the English Premier League table after avenging their Carabao Cup final defeat against the Red Devils with a 2-0 win on Sunday. In the other match played, West Ham United moved out of the relegation zone after securing a 1-0 win over bottom of the table Southampton. Meanwhile, Brendan Rodgers has left his role as Leicester City manager after 4 years at the club. Rodgers, who led Leicester to their first FA Cup success in 2021, lives with the Foxes in the relegation zone. In Spain, Karim Benzema scored a first-half hat-trick in the space of 7 minutes as Real Madrid hammered Real Valladolid 6-0. Carlo Ancelotti's side are now 12 points behind La Liga leaders Barcelona. And finally, Max Verstappen won a chaotic and controversial Australian Grand Prix that finished under a safety car after a crash-affected restart. The Red Bull driver led Mercedes' Lewis Hamilton and Aston Martin's Fernando Alonso home to set the podium. With Sports Update, Bade NDLEA, NT News.
And congratulations to AJ on his unanimous boxing victory. And that ends the news segment of Newsline. And in just a moment, I'll be handing over to Jennifer Igwe in Lagos. Hello, Jennifer.
Thank you for giving us the news. Time for Newsline proper. Now, Palm Sunday is celebrated in the Christendom annually to commemorate the triumphant entry of our Lord Jesus Christ into Jerusalem. Omenka Amarachuku reports that Christians converged on churches in Abuja to mark the day that also ushers in the Holy Week for the Passion, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ, with messages of hope, forgiveness, sacrifice, and love.
Palm Front procession to celebrate another Palm Sunday, going by biblical accounts, Jesus' triumphant entry into Jerusalem was greeted with Hosanna chorus by people, a tradition upheld by Christians in the last Sunday before Easter in the Lenten season to identify prayers and fasting and uprightness. At the Advent Anglican Communion, Most Reverend Henry Ndukuba reminded worshippers of Christ's sacrificial love for mankind.
So we give glory to God, and today we are encouraging all believers to step into their victory, which the Lord Jesus has given us.
Let us show leadership by example in all that we do. Then there will be peace all around us. There will be joy all around us. And in this also, love will be exemplified.
The Methodist Archbishop of Abuja, Michael Olusegun, centered his message on hope and steadfastness.
Exclamation, showing that God is the Lord of Lords and He has the final solution to all our challenges. It is one of the greatest seasons in the Christian calendar.
At the Shepherd Celestial Church of Christ, Venerable Superior Evangelist Allen Odofia stressed on life of forgiveness and patriotism and unity.
I just pray that with this celebration, there will be peace in every home, peace in the nation, and peace in the world. Because that is what Jesus Christ preached while He was on earth. And that is what we are replicating.
The general interest of the clergymen is in building a God-fearing people for greater exploits for God and the society.
A celebration of peace and hope. It's not just about joining everyone to do this celebration, but also take away important relevance and let us imbibe them in our lives. Now, it's that time of the year when Muslims the world over observe the Ramadan fast. Annie Daniels, again, was at the lepers colony in Lagos when some good-spirited individuals visited the place in fulfillment of the tenets of Islam. Annie says there is something new that you and I will surely be interested in knowing from her report. Let's join her.
April 1st every year is usually marked as April Fool's.
A leper performing ablution for 2 p.m. prayers. Afterwards, our host came out to welcome us, excited.
I've been coming here for 10 years, so I know exactly what they need. This is a fasting season for them, so we run around again as usual to get food so that they can fast.
the elder ones here, I think they need more like a medical attention. I think we maybe looking at our next visit, maybe we might likely come with like medical experts.
Oh, did I forget to pay homage to the elders? Omar Abdullahi, head of the colony, brought me up to speed with activities in the colony, including informing me of ongoing projects at the colony. Oh, it's a bridge and a wall around this health-threatening dump site.
And through this street, we can get contact from all parts that we are there to need, that are ready to assist us.
However, there are fears these projects might not actually be to their advantage.
Since 1986, we were here, and it was Governor Latif Jakonde by himself donated this land for us. And now, our problem is that the time when we were given this piece of land, we were really certificated with the paper that this settlement is left for disabled people. But unfortunately, by some few years ago, we have a fire disaster. Fire consumed all the documents. So we don't know the way that we will follow to get another documents again.
If we go to Lagos State, they have CFO of this place. And people are ready to come and build for them. And these are foreigners. They want to see the CFO. That is why I wrote a letter to the governor to discuss with him.
These lepers informed me that they used to cultivate on this land until it was converted to a dump site. So, if permitted, they would love to return to farming rather than go a begging.
I just wonder how the place turned to a dump site. That is something that needs to be investigated, because if they have a space for farming, it will go a long way in helping them. We're in the month of April, and I'm sure a lot of you, maybe some remembered, April 1st. Now, April 1 every year means different things to different people. For many, it is a time to express best wishes to loved ones for a new month. For others, it is considered a day for spiritual exercise and activities. Pranks also flow freely, as some see it as a day for fun and laughter. The day was a mixed bag of feelings for Uyo residents, as correspondent John Paul Alumona interacted with some people in the spirit of April Fool's Day.
The first every year is usually marked as April Fool's Day or All Fool's Day, which has been celebrated for several centuries in different climes, although its origin remains a mystery. While its exact history is unclear, the embrace of April Fool's Day jokes by the media and major brands has ensured the sustenance of the unofficial holiday.
Did you listen to the news this morning?
No, I did not.
Okay. I want to inform you that the state government's proposed happy hour has been cancelled.
Oh, why? Something that made a lot of people to vote for him so that we can be enjoying ourselves, something that I already started. Why should it be cancelled now?
They just cancelled it.
No. It should not be cancelled.
Okay, I just pranked you, April Fool.
Yeah, wow. It's a nice one, really. Is it?
April Fool. April Fool, nothing like that.
Hey! Me are the type of April Fool, they don't catch me today.
It was not cancelled.
Today is April Fool, and I just wanted to get
Residents share their opinions on April Fool's Day.
It's good. It's good because sometimes maybe I might be in an anger mood or in a depression mood. But now you just made me to laugh by telling me April Fool. So I'm happy about that because at least you put a smile on my face.
It's okay as long as the prank is not that too much.
Despite the annual occurrence of April Fool's Day, people usually fall victims of the pranks.
When I was secondary school, we do it. But now I don't.
Have you been a victim of April Fool's Day's prank? If yes, what was your feeling?
Hearing the other hand that it is April Fool, I was like, not today now.
Of course I'll be angry, but Since they did not really do anything bad, so I'll be very mad.
I do it as well. So at some point I like it, at some point I feel bad.
It is my humble plea that you cross-check every breaking news you receive on April 1st, especially in this era of fake news. Don't be a victim of April Fool's Day pranks.
Okay, the pranks add fun to the day, but we just have to be careful because some people go extra, they go overboard with pranks and it becomes dangerous. And I think, I don't blame that woman who reacted the way she did for happy hour. We just want to have time to unwind and be happy. Now, barter is the exchange of goods and services between two or more parties without the use of money. It is said to be the oldest form of commerce, but some of its challenges include the inability to make deferred payments, lack of common measure value, difficulty in storage of goods, and lack of double coincidence of wants. Now, in contemporary society, this trading is not a common practice, but it suffices to report that trade by barter is still ongoing in a fishing settlement along the Ibom River in Cross River State. Achibong Basse, who visited the community, say, although isolated, it is bustling with economic activities.
I was on a national assignment with other journalists when we spotted a settlement by the seashores. They looked very tiny from where our Kano was, and out of curiosity, we decided to go and see what they were. On arrival there, we were greeted by some youths who directed us to their leader, Master Enya Obia, and after introducing ourselves as journalists, he volunteered to take us round their little village called Sand. The people, who are predominantly fishermen, are from Afikpo in Ebonyi State.
We came here around 19 October. We're living here at August.
So why do you live by that August?
We're living here at that August, where water, because here is Sinta River. Small time, before that time, water have covered these places. So we go back to our place, Ebonyi State.
Are you wondering how they feed on this isolated environment?
Okay, we are eating curry and some other food items, rice, yam and plantain. Sometimes they used to bring it at Sansan here, then we do exchange, we give them fish, they give us the plantain.
When we kill this fish, we used to put it here. After when it dry up, we carry it to go market and sell.
Grace Uria is a polytechnic undergraduate who comes to the Sansan to join her family in the fishing business whenever she is not in school.
This one they are throwing and they call it Nkosha or Perem in my language. This one requires like 4 to 5 men, able men to drag the net. But it can, 2 people can do it as well, but that one, 2 people doing it is a lot of stress to them. Then this one, 4 people can drag it. While you are dragging it, if there is fish in the river, they will be dragging. There is a bag in the net, so the fish will enter there. And sometimes they won't catch anything because it's normally season.
Watching these fishermen gradually pull their nets ashore, I had silently prayed and hoped that they had a great catch. But after all their toil, this was all the gods.
Okay, for me, the catch was heartbreaking. So much effort. But I'm so proud of that young girl because of the way she supports her family. Even if you're acquiring formal education, it's also good to have some basic skills and be in tune with your environment. Time for some messages. We have more interesting features when we return from the break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. We start this segment with a trip to Maiduguri. In the heart of the ancient city of Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, are some structures that once served as first quarters of the then native authority police of the defunct Northern Regional Government. The buildings are considered architectural masterpiece owing to the ingenuity involved in their construction. Although one can say they have seen better days, they are still a spectacle to behold owing to their captivating appeal. Zainab Adam takes it from here.
This Arabic inscription on one of the structures at Dendel tells you something about the age and purpose for the structures in those days. A person coming from Kirkasama Way, Shehu Laminu Way, or Sakashim Ibrahim Way in the heart of the bubbling city of Maiduguri cannot escape sighting the cone-shaped houses popularly called Gidantolia in Hausa and Bongo in Kanuri, consisting of about 2 rooms, kitchen and toilet in each apartment depending on the occupiers. Just like the block houses, it can be decorated and used for many functions as desired by its occupant. Inhabitants of the houses comment on the peculiarities.
The house is good and people like it.
The house is appealing to people's sight.
The room can only contain few furniture, unlike conventional houses.
This is what some prominent people in Maiduguri have to say about these relics of the Northern Regional Government that are still some edifices to behold.
When the Europeans came, when they were setting up public buildings, the middle school, most of these buildings were of the same type. And the one you see with long structure on top of it for accommodation. They are very spacious. It is always, all seasons, it is cold. During the cold season, it is warm. During the hot season, it is cold. So this was the technology which was employed by our people in the rural areas, and it was replicated in the city by the Europeans. But unfortunately, due to our mentality of modern buildings, whenever they deteriorate or collapse or they were demolished, instead of building, setting up the same buildings, people build modern buildings in its place.
That most of the structures are still standing except those affected by some natural phenomenon speak volumes on the ingenuity involved in erecting them.
Burnt bricks were used, and burnt bricks were known to possess the characteristics of being strong when subjected to required temperature of furnace. The walls are cylindrical and circular in nature, which by implication can give way to intense wind through allowing it to glide round the wind without the wind giving a push-pull impact on the walls to push it down.
Considering the history attached to the structures, what plan do the government have to preserve them for the upcoming generation to appreciate?
You know, the bricks have many advantages. It's even bulletproof because they are very strong. For me, already government have preserved it. Since up to this moment, they are still existing. I think there must be a logic behind it. We will even advise them to maintain it for posterity.
The relics of Northern Nigerian government, as you can see, still stand firm and continues to add to the beauty of Maiduguri, the home of peace, although requiring maintenance for its preservation for the upcoming generation.
A masterpiece is a masterpiece and can last forever if well maintained. Now we're going to the birthday of a veteran. He is the brain behind many of NTA's celebrated productions in the 80s and 90s. He has paid his dues in the broadcast industry. So attaining the age of 75, friends and families of Dr. Peter Iho, former Executive Director of Programs, Nigeria Television Authority, rolled out the drums and clicked glasses to celebrate the man who has remained an icon for many broadcasters. Ekene Ndulio reports.
Can't even hear the sound of the
I must be going now. Yeah.
When do I expect you back?
Oh, I don't know. About 2 or 3 days.
A scene from Cockcrow at Dawn, one of NTA's outstanding soap operas in the 70s and 80s, produced and directed by the much celebrated Dr. Peter Eagle. 75 years of age is indeed a milestone, and his friends and families are giving him a surprise birthday party in celebration of his values and achievements. The tune from the celebrated drama series resonated at the event, and the celebrants could not help but give life to the blast from the past.
Will we ever get there? Will we ever make it? Will we ever hear the sound of the road? Thank you very much.
The veteran broadcaster also has a piece of advice for broadcasters as they adapt to changing times.
In broadcasting, the knowledge is only half the business. Your knowledge of how to direct or how to produce or how to write is only half the business. The other 50% is the passion that you put into it. So when you put that passion into the knowledge, then things begin to happen.
It is a toast to good health and long life, as friends and family extolled the virtues of the celebrant.
It's a friend in a million, very wonderful human being, sociable, dependable.
He's a very nice gentleman, a detribalized Nigerian, a man who wants others to grow, and who believe in investing in the upcoming young chaps.
I don't want to lose him now. I wish him good health, more years, and let him continue his ways.
I wish him another 75 years. And I hope to be there too.
Thank you very much.
Meaning that we are wishing ourselves.
What's a birthday party without a birthday cake?
24, 74.
The feeling was palpable as the guests reveled in the ambience of good music and quality dishes.
An awesome man, great teacher and mentor to many. We say happy birthday to him again. Now let's go to sanitation and water. Now, water challenge is affecting nations around the world, particularly Africa, as clean fresh water is not so available. Not that we don't have enough water in the world, but clean fresh water is not available. In Lagos State, for instance, many still do not have access to potable water despite initiatives by authorities. Lanre Gbeleyi sheds more light on this and how, like the saying, necessity is the mother of invention. Many are finding ways of making water available.
In Nigeria, like most parts of the world, growth in population constantly increases demand for water, creating a challenge and the need to expand provision from source to the people. And this demand requires a huge commitment from the government and all the stakeholders.
The state, as that is in Lagos State, and the state government has invested heavily in terms of water supply. But I would be standing here saying absolutely rubbish if I did not claim that the demand for water far outstrips our supply.
Water inaccessibility is a gap that has forced many Lagos residents to resort to various means of making water available for their use.
The malam, that's the people we are buying water for. And even the water is too salty, but there's nothing you can do.
Sometimes you get water from gutters. Those breaking taps from the high class, when their pipes are broken somewhere and it's not maintained, we pick water from their gutters just to survive.
Some entrepreneurs are exploring opportunities that address the water problem and help them earn a living. Then there is the water sellers called Meiruwa, which translates to someone who has water. And indeed, they have water that they sell, but at a bargain price. Magaji falls into this category. He lives in Obalende area of Lagos. From dawn to dusk,
Magaji moves round, pushing its cart loaded with jerrycans of water for miles, selling and delivering water he gets from borehole to people.
In a up 700 1,000 naira. In a mobatuna fa na 300.
Sustainability of investment in water is also a challenge. While some are suggesting privatization of the sector, others insist provision of potable water should be in the hands of government.
For water security to be ensured, government must provide funding and make it available to the citizens. That's what I'm saying.
Lagos State is already thinking of a private-public partnership.
That arm is obviously looking at how the private sector can contribute to what the state is able to produce.
The reality is this: demand for water, especially for sanitation, will always be high. So while government is strategizing on ways to tackle the water challenge, Magaji and his peers, many water supply companies and facilities will continue to have their useful quota in making water available.
Thank you, Larry, for that beautiful report. And he just made an important point. In the challenge is opportunity, and if we explore the opportunity well, it will create jobs and help improve access to water. Now to celebration of icons in the industry. We just celebrated Peter Ego. Now we have two more. The tenure of NTA's executive directors have been such that brought a lot of revolutionary changes to the national network and changed the face of the NTA to the delight of viewers. As they bow out after 2 tenures in service, staff in the various directorates have expressed appreciation for their impactful professional experiences shared in the last 6 years. Momso Damian Dati now brings us sights and sounds of the farewell celebrations as witnessed and reported by different correspondents.
They were political appointees, but in every sense attached to the NTA in old bonds and the new ones they formed. That perhaps aided their strides in operations, for most of them giant and imprinted in the sands of time of their various directorates. In the light of their remarkable professional relations within the ranks, it was mixed feelings for staff as they sent forth these bosses at the expiration of their political tenure. Chokwe Alabi reports that a carnival best describes the event by the program's directorate, where the cowboy, or boss, as he is fondly called, was ushered in grandeur.
Cowboy, cowboy,
there, eulogies proved Executive Director Programs Baba Wole Koka as a man of the people.
He's someone who when you come close to, that's the moment he begins to mentor you.
He is a thoroughbred professional who has demonstrated zeal, commitment and determination.
I recall that even as executives, Wole Koka and Yusuf Jibo used to go out to report with Wole Koka on the camera. What does that tell you? Humility.
All those 8 years that Babangida was in command, he was the cameraman. To work with Babangida with ease and the smoothness that he did, it has to take the person of finesse like Wole Koka.
Wole Koka is a fantastic team player. He's a good man, he's a great man.
The 67-year-old television production expert who is passionate about bequeathing lasting legacies is the brain behind many programs across production genres, including Young Investors, Our History, Iyamodina, Road Matters, Against All Odds, Our People, Our Culture, and the medley shows, to name a few.
I'll tell you that working for this length of time in NTA is like, to me, it's like enjoying myself. You know, it's like when you do something and people appreciate what you do, it gives you joy. When you look at it, there's no aspect of this business that you can say
is not possible.
Joseph Otsen reports that testimonies that are sent forth by the Engineering Directorate reveal that by upscaling 3 pillars of training, professionalism, and digital technology, the Executive Director Engineering Moses Okwanachi transformed the Directorate and positioned the NTA competitively in broadcasting globally.
Under his leadership, we have launched several ideas and successfully captured the hearts and minds of our viewers. He is very instrumental to the development of digital technology in the authority.
Even if you serve as a consultant by training and retraining younger engineers in the broadcast industry.
When he purposed to take up a project, he sees it to a logical conclusion.
And he's somebody that can teach, can impact knowledge. And in fact, we have benefited a lot from him because he has opened our knowledge, opened our horizon to so many things.
I want to appreciate you all. I can see the crowd and the large overflow, and I want to thank you. I can see people too from various directorates.
At the Directorate for Special Duties, Ngozi Technico's interaction with the staff revealed that the Executive Director, Malam Umar Lalu, was more than just a boss to his subordinates. His humility, caring nature, and intelligent approach to issues she notes as something they will miss dearly.
I wish you peace. I wish you everything that you wish yourself. Thank you so much.
Like a historian, Malam Lalu cherishes storytelling with impact. But beyond that, the job is something he loves dearly. Now to Executive Director News, Malam Muhammad Labo, a man of many colors. His colleagues and subordinates describe him as a seasoned professional whose tenure transformed the News Directorate of NTA to an enviable status.
He has been extremely generous in terms of provision of equipment. He has gone further to provide even equipment that are used by other directorates. To think of it, we have drones, we have mixer.
Your interest is for the growth and development of NTA and for NTA International. I want to thank you for the support you gave us.
The tough boss, a surprise put together by the management and staff of the News Directorate, turned the last editorial board meeting of Malam Labo to an emotional farewell session as tears of joy flowed freely.
You are a dogged fighter, you are a hard worker, and you always push us to do the right thing.
So thank you for the innovations you brought in the newsroom, all the new computers they mark.
A true newsman who never misses events as they occur and evolve.
I wonder when it's lit, even if I don't even know. As the news is breaking, the EDN is sending.
I was trained by the best in the industry at that time. I was in so many beats, very difficult beats, so that prepared me and it strengthened me. NTA has gone through, different stages, and I have gone through different stages too.
The News Directorate appreciated him this way. And for the first time, yours sincerely, Momso Damien Ati, got a big hug from the big boss. My grin was from cheek to cheek.
I am also grinning from cheek to cheek. I mean, great men who have really made impact and affected our lives. They're all mentors, teachers, wonderful people to work with. We'll miss them, and I'm sure we'll require, they will still in one way or the other contribute their wealth of knowledge to the broadcast industry. Again, we have to pay some bills. We'll be back soon. Thanks for being there. Now, just a week ago, we brought you the bizarre story of a grandmother who set her son, his wife, and their 2 children ablaze at Opomu village near Akure in Ondo State. Sadly, the 72-year-old grandma, Madam Iforiti Oloro, is dead. She died shortly after the death of the couple. Over now to Abiola Ario, who has been following the story and the disposition of the community.
The news of the death of Mama Iforiti Oloro prompted the Newsline crew to visit Apomu village near Akure, where the grandma and the deceased couple lived before the unfortunate incident. Police earlier confirmed that she also sustained some degree of burns and was being treated at an undisclosed hospital. Getting to a Nyomi family residence at Apomulono village, it was under lock and key. After much persuasion on confirming the news of Mama's death,
aside from the police being there and always going around, his son, who was the one who came to take the 2 other kids to the hospital, he was also with the police, and they were the ones that took the mama to the hospital. Called on Sunday afternoon that the woman gave up the ghost, and after that, the policemen had to go there to confirm themselves.
Meanwhile, based on culture and tradition of the community, and particularly the circumstances surrounding the untimely death of the late couple, Victor and Rachel Oloro, and Mama Iforiti, the Olu of Apomulono, Adeyemi Bajulaye, has pronounced that their corpse will not be allowed for burial in Apomu town.
We have not been informed of their burial, but we will not allow them to be buried here. If they want to bury her, they should take her to her husband's town, including her children who were set ablaze, because their death is bad omen to the community.
It will be recalled that while Nigerians were preparing for the governorship and House of Assembly elections on Saturday 18th of March 2023, a family of 4 were allegedly set ablaze while sleeping by Mama Iforiti Oloro. While Victor and Rachel Iforiti lost their lives, their 2 children are currently receiving treatment at the burn unit of the Federal Medical Center, Owo.
Sad story there. Now, the mood at Adefolu Drive in an estate in Allen Avenue, Ikeja, Lagos, where an aged couple, Adefemi and Olufumilayo Egbeoluwa, were murdered on Sunday, is that of palpable fear and uncertainty. Joel Popola has an update on the incident.
Although an estate, the solemn ambience around it is a stark reminder to visitors that all is not well. Normalcy, however, is gradually returning to a neighboring estate as a few people are now walking around the streets and going about their business. Most Nigerians will choose to live in a highbrow estate like this, do so for comfort, class and security. But with the assassination of an old couple in Allen Avenue area of Ikeja, are highbrow estates really secured? This is the question the incident is putting in the front burner. Police Public Relations Officer, Lagos State Police Command, Benjamin Ndenyi, says investigation has commenced to unravel the mystery surrounding the murder of the elderly couple.
No arrest has been made, but investigation has commenced into the case. The maid was found unconscious, but is responding well to treatment.
Some Nigerians residing in estates share their experience on the issue of security.
I live in Durban Estate, and it's fully secured. We try within all our possible best within the community to see that we cover ourselves and to see that we give ourselves a maximum, security.
Even some estates now, they even do their own private security to come and protect the estate as well. So I don't think they do that one anymore again. Like, people don't know about what's going on, because right now everybody's on high alert, and like I feel like we're all intended to protect each other.
Even these days now, I don't believe estate exists because it has been infiltrated with so many businesses. Go to estate now, you cannot, especially go to Festac. It will be so hard for you that it's still the same Festac of 1977. Everywhere has been infiltrated, mechanic everywhere. You see workshop, you see artisan. People that are not even living in estate are more than people that are living in estate.
Adefemi Egbeoluwa, a retired permanent secretary in Ogun State, and his wife Oluwa Fumilayo were killed by unknown assailants at their home in Lagos.
We are following that story and we'll keep you posted. Now, although a 37-year-old pastor, Kayode Salami, is in police custody in connection with the rape, we have an update that shows that he may not really be responsible, but we'll keep you informed after the break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Before the break, I told you about the 37-year-old pastor, Kayode Salami, who is currently in police net in connection with rape and murder of a church member. Ongoing investigation by the police is indicating that he may not be involved as alleged. Abiola Ariyo visited Idorin town where the incident occurred and has an update.
Salami is the wife of Pastor Kayode Salami, who is accused of rape and murder of one Adejoke Oloje in his church at Idorin, Ondo State. The deceased was said to have sought for temporary shelter in the church through a cousin, which the accused pastor obliged the late Adejoke Oloje.
She came for help because she had a quarrel with her sister. She wanted to stay in the church premises. No one knows it is going to turn out like this.
Since January, no relative was said to have come to check on her until late Adejoke's mother started to visit her this March. Then tragedy struck. Some of the neighbors who spoke with Newsline described Pastor Kayode as a generous gentleman.
People always run to him for help. He's a good person. He can never kill a human being because I know him very well.
I've known Pastor Kayode for the past 10 years now. He's a very generous man.
The police public relations officer, Ondo State Command, Fumilayo Odunlami, confirmed based on the autopsy report that the deceased was not raped by the pastor as reported by the mother.
We are trying to wrap up the investigation and immediately will be charged to court.
All efforts to speak with the mothers at the time of filing this report proved abortive. Meanwhile, as investigations into the case continue, Newsline will keep you updated.
Thank you, Ariyo. We will surely update you with developments there. Now, on that note, we end today's edition of Newsline, and we want to thank you for being a part of it. Be with us again Sunday next week for another edition, and don't forget that the fastest way to become a star is to join the NTA to stand against rape and rapists. Good night and God bless Nigeria.